You are not going to make money podcasting off of streams. You're not going to make money podcasting off of YouTube. You're not going to make money podcasting off of views like that. Now, listen, that's not to say it won't happen and it can happen, but that's not how you're going to make the money initially. You're going to have a patent. So the biggest doors from Fashion Nova to Victoria's Secrets to streetwear brands to Walmart.
So it was just like a little cut that y'all did.
Bro.
Everybody started using it.
Everyone started using it.
Had you had the patent, they would have had to pay you.
Pay us royalties forever.
To design.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to Black Wealth Weekly Podcast, where you can find different guests being interviewed by me, Shaniqua Nicole, the Millennial Money Maven, every single week, where we will be breaking down how they got into their respective industries and are creating wealth for their families. You don't want to miss an episode, so hit the bell and tune in. What's up, family? Welcome to this week's episode of Black Wealth Weekly. I'm your host, Shaniqua Nicole, and y'all know I bring you the hottest entrepreneurs and investors out there, and today is no difference. I got my brother with me, King Brendan. What's going on, family?
What's up? I'm excited.
Yes.
Excited to be back in the studio.
Absolutely.
Back in Atlanta, rocking with you, and a lot of my other friends out here trying to get me to come out here. So, I don't know what that looks like, but we about to see what happens. Right.
Well, y'all know Atlanta is like Wakanda. So I think everybody just want to come here, but honestly, we full, bro. We a little full, but let's get into the episode. So, Brendan, what's going on? Tell people what's your name, who you are, and what you do.
All right, amazing. So listen, my name is Brendan Boyd. I'm a digital media entrepreneur, right? So I do two things. One, I help amazing entrepreneurs like yourself, coaches and consultants, get on podcasts to expand your brand awareness and plant your digital footprint. And I also help podcasters monetize, because I don't know if you Google podcasting lately, but Siri will literally tell you, Google will literally tell you, podcasters make $0. So the majority of podcasters do not know how to monetize. They're waiting for brand deals, sponsorships, and feel like they need a large audience to get it done. So I help them do that.
Got you. I love that. So why is it even important? Number one, so that's two different things. So you have the podcasting business, and then you have helping entrepreneurs get visibility.
Facts.
So we all know visibility is important, but tell us why you believe visibility is important for entrepreneurs or, people that have some kind of product or service to sell.
So that's a great question. So number one, generally when people have a product or service, they focus on the product and service, developing, website, creation, the offer. I'm an esthetician. I do lashes, I'm an author. What they forget about is the awareness part. So you can have an amazing product, but if you don't tell nobody about the product, it don't matter how amazing it is.
Right.
No one's gonna know about it, no one's gonna buy it because no one knows about it. So what typically happens is they get the momentum, they're rocking for like a month, 2 months, and then they die out because they're like, no one knows, no one's buying, I have no customers. It's because they haven't built an audience, haven't went out there to build their brand awareness.
Gotcha.
They're not planting seeds to build a digital footprint. Obviously, we know digital online is huge.
Everything.
So if you're a business owner right now, you're not online and you're afraid or you're just not taking advantage of it, you are going to be in the past.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to embrace that. And as a result, if you don't create that brand awareness consistently, you're not going to do no business, right? So you can literally have the same conversion rate, right, and do more sales if more people know about you, right? So if you keep telling the same people, right, they're not going to buy more because they already bought, and eventually they're going to be tired of you continuing to market to them. You got to get in front of more people.
Got you. So so the podcast play is essentially like other people's audiences. So I know in finance and money we say use OPM, other people's money. Yeah. This is OPA.
Other people's audiences, other people's podcasts, other people's stages.
Right.
Yeah, it's all of that.
Got you.
Yeah, it's all of that.
I love it. So you mentioned that Siri will say that podcasts don't make any money.
Yeah, let's try that right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it
right now. So,
my question to you is, as a new podcaster, how much can I make as a podcaster?
That's a really good question. Let's ask Siri really quick, right?
Okay.
I want to show this to people in real time.
Right.
Hey Siri, How much money does podcasters make? So she normally speaks. She's a little shy.
Okay.
But she says, to be frank, most make $0. In fact, many podcasts have negative cash flow because they spend money on buying equipment, paying hosting fees before they earn a single dollar, right? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because you want to have obviously great presentation. You want to have a really good product.
Yeah.
But what tends to happen is because you don't know how to monetize, podcasters in podcast purgatory where they do 7 episodes and they die out between 7 and 15 because it's dope and it's great. I have good guests on. I want a woman empowerment. I want to talk about tech.
Yeah.
I want to talk about brand new entrepreneurs.
Right.
And I'm not making no money.
It gets expensive.
It's been 15 episodes.
Right.
I'm in the hole. This is cool. It ain't fun no more. This is a job.
Yeah.
So I'm out.
I will say, I think people think that, once you get it started, then you can maybe make money off of streams.
Yeah.
How are people making money off podcasts?
So listen, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, and I want you to pay really close attention to this. I'm gonna look right into this mic. You are not gonna make money podcasting off of streams. You're not gonna make money podcasting off of YouTube. You're not gonna make podcasting make money podcasting off of views like that. Now listen, that's not to say it won't happen and it can happen.
Yeah.
But that's not how you're gonna make the money initially.
Okay.
Right? The main thing is having a product. You want to have a product as a podcaster. It could be physical, but the easiest product for you to have is digital, clearly. And then the second thing that you definitely want to have as a podcaster is a subscription-based paid community. These two things will at least get you going. And I'm going to tell you like this. I pay for my Tesla, right? It's free off of 10 people in my podcast community.
Wow.
So 10 people paying $99 a month is $1,000.
Right.
That takes care of the Tesla and the insurance.
Right.
I drive the car for free.
Right.
10 people, not 1,000, not 10,000 views, not 100,000 views.
Right. You're not
A couple
because
hundred views.
really, how many views do you need for YouTube to start paying you?
Well, first off, you
like
need
10,000.
You need 4,000 watched hours.
Right.
And you need 1,000 subscribers.
I just hit my hours.
Let's get it.
Hey.
That's just to be in monetization mode. That's like a club. It's like you can't even get to the door unless you got this.
Right.
Now that you got this, guess what? You can't make money until you at least get $100 a month.
Right.
Right? For them to let that go.
Got you.
Right? And, podcasting is a tough niche on YouTube to get views. It's not a very popular search, topic.
Yeah.
Now, topics of which you may talk about on your podcast are highly searchable.
Right.
But no one's like, Brendan's podcast.
Right.
No one's searching that.
Right.
So to really get views on a podcast right now, you're probably relationships are crazy going right now. Like podcasts are about relationships.
Yeah.
Podcasts is about dating and going crazy. Podcasts is about like marriage. Like that type of podcast stuff is going crazy. Or if you have celebrity guests on there.
Gotcha.
Founders.
Yeah.
Trademark holders. Service providers, celebrities.
Right.
Those are gonna get you views.
Because they have big.
Because they got big audiences.
Right.
So you're tapping into them. Or they've done something notable.
Gotcha.
So you're tapping into them.
Yeah.
But again, I'm gonna look at this camera. If you have 50 people watching your podcast, that's great. If you got 100 views, that's great. Because if you had a room with 50 people, you'd be like, yo, this is popular. So if you got 100 people in your room, if you monetize 10 of them, because there might be 10 of the 100 that are really like, I like this podcast.
Yeah.
Right? I can't wait for episode 2 or 3. If you monetize 10 of them, $49 a month, that's $500 a month. Right. $6,000 a year. You know how many podcasters make $6,000 a year? Less than 10%. So you're already winning. And that $500 can cover some costs. Yeah. Right? It can put you in position and you'll be excited and you can build on top of that.
Exactly.
So get another 10. And now you're making $1,000 a month.
All right, cool. So I have this community. What I'm doing with them, like?
That's a great question, right? So there's a lot of amazing things that you can do with the community. Okay. So number one, you can put exclusive content. We're not talking about OnlyFans, right? We're talking about exclusive podcast content. Okay. So maybe like, all right, so we're on the show right now. Yeah. So maybe there's like a segment that you do. It might be the After Dark or the Unreleased or the Money Minutes, the Millennial Money Minutes or something, right? And it could be content that you don't have on the real actual show, but you gate it and put it in your community. Okay. Maybe you do Q&A in your community via Zoom weekly or bi-weekly. Maybe you do quarterly meetups in person with your community. Maybe you do a retreat.
Right.
Maybe you get feedback from your community. Maybe you do merch with your community.
I like that.
There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
So what people ignore is that, think about if we are flying, your family and me, because I don't have a family. So we're going on a trip, right? We're going to Africa, right? So we got a choice. We can do first class or we can do economy, right? So economy flight, that experience is how everyone's viewing or experiencing the podcast, right? Because they can go on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, right? And check out a podcast.
Right.
Any time of the day, we can do that.
Okay.
We can go on YouTube, same thing. We can access it.
Yep.
But what about the first class experience? That's the community.
Okay.
So you get in a space where it's not for everyone. So don't feel like
it has to be a big community.
No, it just needs to be an engaged one.
Yeah.
You build one by one.
Right.
So first class experience, the seats might lay back. You're gonna have a different menu. They're gonna speak to you different. You might meet the captain. There's less people going to the restroom. You get a blanket, headphones. You chilling, right? You get a fake. You get the eye mask. You chilling, right? So that's how the community should be. You build an environment that is going to enrich the viewers, the audience's podcast experience based on whatever your category is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
And you build it off of that.
Yeah. And so one thing I was thinking about, I just told you, was maybe doing something like weekly meetups or, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that could be a part of
That's an amazing
the paid
part.
community.
So exactly. So if I'm in the paid community for this podcast, I'll get access to potentially coming to see live shows.
Meeting dope entrepreneurs like you.
Meeting dope entrepreneurs like me, right? Live shows. Let's say if you're in the community, you have a product and service, maybe you nominate one or two people and every month they get a chance to pitch their product, refine their pitch, and maybe pick up some potential investors, right?
Yeah.
That's an amazing opportunity, right? To do that. The weekly Zooms, again, maybe you do a weekly Zoom, maybe you hire somebody to host a Zoom for you, right? And then what you're doing is you're building a very solid base around that.
Yeah.
And then if you take your pod on the road, these people are gonna wanna roll.
Right.
You do a retreat, they're gonna wanna pull up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how you really start monetizing the show without brand deals, sponsorships, and a large audience. And then you throw in the digital product component and then you lit. Because that digital product, you can put commercial inserts, audio commercials, you can do the video commercials, live reads. You can go.
So what kind of digital product for me?
Yeah. So okay. So
what would be a good digital product for
your Black Wealth Weekly magazine? Yeah. That could be a digital product. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Yeah, that could be. So that could be a digital product right there. You can talk about the steps of putting. You know what we could actually. So you do real estate.
Yeah.
You do investing.
I do.
Right? Venture capital. So some of that information. So how can somebody get into venture capital?
Right.
How can somebody present their
So some kind of ebook.
Exactly.
Some kind of flyer.
How do I get into
some kind of how-to guide.
Real estate investing?
Right.
So your whole thing. So I thought about this. Like a month ago. I think what our community misses out on, and a lot of us get to it later in life, are like the Black Wealth essentials. So maybe your ebook or your digital product
we got a name, y'all.
The Black Wealth Essentials.
Yeah.
And what that may be is budgeting, insurance.
Yep.
Right?
That's what my program is. I actually have a course with the 7 pillars of wealth.
Investing basics.
Real estate.
Compound interest. Asset protection, trust.
Yep.
That's the digital product.
We just made my digital
and
product.
that could be $97. I would pay $97 for that.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you can take it a step further. Podcasters, you can have call to actions inside of that ebook that will send them to
higher tickets, book calls, and stuff like that.
And then go crazy, have affiliates. Right?
So what's an affiliate? How do I have affiliates?
So you can have affiliates for your higher ticket. You can have affiliates for your digital product. You can have affiliates for your subscription.
Okay.
And you can empower your community members
to share,
and they can make money with you or get free memberships by being in the community by just adding other people in the community. Now you don't need a large audience for that. You don't need sponsorships for that.
I like it.
You don't need brand deals for that. And that's not to say they won't come.
Yeah.
But a lot of podcasts
it's not going to start that way.
They're waiting for that.
Exactly. And like you said, most people doing 7 episodes, 13 episodes, and then
it's
they
a
get
wrap.
tired.
It's a wrap.
Right, because they're not making money.
Yeah.
I've seen that, and it's unfortunate, especially if there's not a whole lot of, if you have a whole lot of money, a whole lot of capital to get started, it can be tiresome if you don't love it and you think that you're gonna get rich. Now, can podcasters get rich doing this?
Oh yeah, they can get rich. Listen, what my shirt say?
What does it say? Podcast millionaire. I didn't even know what it said.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all. So I made $61,000 in the last 37 days from my podcast, and you can 100% make money. And what I want to tell you is that podcasting is extremely vast. It's almost like real estate. You know, real estate, you can make money so many different ways.
Right.
Podcasting is the same way.
Yeah.
So like, look at some of the largest podcasters out there that are really doing it, right? So you got the Joe Rogan, he's making a stupid bag, like $30 million a year. You got Joe Budden podcast. He just signed a $100 million deal. You got Wallow and Gilly, $100 million deal. You got
So let's talk about these deals.
Yeah.
Because they get these deals, they got a $100 million deal. What does that look like? Like they got bought out, or what?
So it kind of depends.
Works?
It's like So I believe that the deal that Wallow and Gilly had when they Barstool Sports. So they got a partnership with Barstool Sports.
Right.
So they're on that
network.
They're
on their network.
They're on that network.
Right.
So
they got paid to come and be on that network. Gotcha. So the $100 million is like something typically
like a contract.
Contract. So it's going to be for so many years or whatever. Gotcha. Okay.
And that's to show you that if in the podcast space, Joe Rogan can sign 200 million, Button can do 100, Wallow and Gilly can do 100. That's 3 people, right? And then you got, what's homeboy's name? I can't think about it right now. Who always talking about credit cards is not it, and you save your money.
Dave Ramsey.
He making 10 mil. So that's 4 people.
Right.
That's a lot of bags.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's a lot more money in the space.
Right.
Podcasting is a $100 billion industry.
Wow.
And it's really trending up from there.
Right.
You can carve your niche. And what I just talked about, podcasters can make at least 1,000 start team. And they're not making no money.
$1,000 a month.
We check series. You know what she said. y'all making no bread.
Listen, the extra $1,000 a month would be great because at least it can cover production. It can cover my team. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's really not about, at this point for me, making money. But, you get back in making money, you build a brand. So let's kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about people that are building their brand.
Yeah.
Why would somebody that's building their brand start to reach out to podcasts and, want to even be on podcasts?
Well, let me tell you my personal experience. The reason why I have a lot of millionaire friends, multimillionaire friends, 7 and 8 figure friends, is because of the podcast. So when I was back home in Boston, and I used to do these meetups every Friday. I used to call them creative sessions, and it would be like me and like 2, 3 other entrepreneurs that were consistent.
Yeah.
And I used to do it in my office at Compass when I was doing real estate. And we would come and just mastermind, and what I'm working on, what you may be working on, what she may be working on, and we just bounce ideas back and forth.
Yeah.
So out of that, I was like, I need millionaire friends. I need a higher network, right? So I'm like, how am I going to do this intentionally?
Yeah.
How can I attract them to me?
Right.
And the podcast is what created that opportunity. So all I did was create a platform.
Right.
So I made an investment, bought the camera, mics, whatever, right? I think the camera was like $800. The mics at the time was probably like $200. So it was $1,000. Tripod, small little pieces.
Right.
But now when I reach out to, let's say you, I'm like, hey, Maven, listen, I love what you have going on. I've been following you. I would love for you to be a guest on my show. That sounds way different than, listen, millionaire, can I pick your brain? Because you know what I need to know, and I need your time.
I love it.
Right?
It's definitely like a cheat code to be able to pick somebody's brain for free.
It's a super cheat code.
Y'all see, he just gave me my whole rundown.
The whole play.
For my podcast. So it's like a free consulting session.
Listen, not only that, but the value that comes out of the podcast, you're really strengthening relationships in real time. Right. So you're edifying, you're building rapport. Right. You're exchanging energies, you're exchanging intellect, you're playing intellectual IP now.
Yep.
Now afterwards, you're like, yo, let's build.
Yeah.
What you got going on? Let me invest. Let me purchase. Let me get you on another platform.
Absolutely.
How can we further this?
How can we build? How can I help you? How can you help me?
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why I have one of my mentors right now. It came from the podcast play. Right? So because of that, like, he allowed me to come into his house
To do the podcast?
to do the show.
Yeah.
Off of first meeting. He could tell the energy. You know, energy transfer.
Important.
You could feel it.
Absolutely.
So it was during Christmas. It was 2021. I pulled up because my podcast is mobile, right? Pulled up, set everything
that's
up.
right.
Listen, you gotta be ready.
Said I'm pulling up.
You gotta be ready. He was in San Diego. I'm in LA. I pulled up. You know what I'm saying? Straight off the DM. Come in. We broke bread. I was there for like maybe 2 hours. Did the show. He was like, "Yo, bro, I had so much fun. I don't even want to leave, bro."
Oh wow.
Right? And that was dope. And he was kind of late to a meeting on purpose.
Yeah.
And we built for another 30 minutes. And he was like, "Yo, listen, I'm gonna give you my personal number.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you gotta hold me back in San Diego, whatever you need." And from that, a year later, we were still planting seeds. He ended up coming back on the show, and then we tightened up. Well, I'm gonna be real with you. I made an investment in him, and then he made an investment back into me.
I love it.
And then I already made bread.
Right.
And I'm about to go, this is about to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So immediately after him, I made $15,000. And then I did the 61,000 in 31 days.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And that's from the podcast.
Wow.
And you stack your relationships.
So break that down. Break it down how you make 61,000 over the last 37 days.
100%. So listen, this is something that all you guys can do. I got a program on it, and I'm gonna give you the keyword for them and affiliate. Yeah.
You already know.
So listen, this program is for podcasters, right? It's called the 100K Podcast Program. I designed it because my mission is to help 3,800 podcasters make at least $1,320.
Okay.
Right? You do not even need a product for this. But if you want to develop your own product, it will teach you that stuff as well.
Okay.
So this is a play. So essentially what I do is I created a platform that I invite guests on. Now, when they come on the show, I edify them, I highlight them, I allow them to tell their stories, promote their products and services. I make sure it's a magnificent experience that they just enjoy.
Right.
Then, once that's over, I just give them the opportunity to have more of those experiences. So if I didn't spend 30 minutes with you, we pre-framed, I let you go crazy, right? I put you in front of people. And all I'm asking is, would you like to do more of these?
Yeah.
I just transition them to a value call, and then we close the deal. Now, so I'll give you an example. What's a car you want to test drive right now? Or a car you would like to have?
I think I would like a Bentayga.
Okay, boom. So let's go. Have you test drive that Bentayga?
I have not.
Okay, so let's go do it. Okay. So boom. Let's use our imagination. Let's visualize. We're in the Bentayga.
Yeah.
45 minutes. We got it. We going wherever you want to go.
Right.
Now, when we get back to it, if you had a pleasant experience, would you like the Bentayga?
Do I want to do this again?
Yeah. No, but do you actually want the Bentayga?
Right.
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
So I didn't sell you nothing. I just gave you more of what you want.
Right.
So if I'm giving you an experience that you want more of these experiences.
Right.
Then we just give you those experiences.
You give them an offer.
Yeah. So that offer that I have, that's the lower ticket of that offer.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a podcast guesting offer from my podcast agency, and I help entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants, get on more shows.
Got you.
Through that offer.
Awesome. I love it.
So we closed 7 in 37 days, so 61,600.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little light, 61,000.
It's light. My peers, he's like, yo, you need to break 100. I feel you.
I know.
I ain't mad at him.
They get on my nerves though. It's
I'm
like, can I have my day?
You know what's crazy?
Can I have my day?
I'm gonna tell y'all what's crazy and why you need to level up your friendships.
Right, no, seriously.
Because listen, I did 61 and I'm feeling like I ain't doing enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so sad though, because we get in a space where we're like, man, I just had a $50,000 day, but I ain't even gonna tell them because they just did 300,000. Like,
and that's why you need to invest in mentorship, invest in coaching, invest your time in learning your skill. Decide not to go out this weekend or the next weekend and YouTube University it up, read some books.
Right.
Get out of trading your time for dollars unless it's something that you really want to do, and start delegating, start hiring, get your VAs up, and really operate in your genius on the highest level that you need to.
Yeah.
Because if you start doing that, you realize that your ideas are really worth more than you actually implementing the ideas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we were just talking before the cameras came on. You said, you were talking about your goals.
Yeah.
Let's tap into that a little
All
bit.
right, let's do it.
So like, what's your vision with, everything that you're doing right now with the podcast, with your shows? What do you see as far as the growth, or, like, do you have a plan for that, or you just kind of like shooting it in the wind, like, whatever happens, happens?
I cannot shoot nothing.
I know you can't. A person like me, I'm just like, I'm kind of like,
Listen,
I don't really know. I don't quite have a plan. I like to do this. I want to do this. This is my way of being able to give back to people without me coaching, without, me having like this audience, a group and stuff that you're saying. So, I would love to know, what are your goals when it comes to your podcast and your platform that you're building?
100%. So with the offer that I just shared with you, right, the podcast guesting. So the main goal with that was to create that whole flow without me have to have anything to do with it. So from booking the guests to hosting the shows to doing the offers to closing the deals, 100%, I'm not even involved in that.
I heard you say that, which was mind blowing.
So
you have podcasts where you're not even the host.
Listen,
and you make money off of it.
Listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. When you are in alignment with what's going on and you get one piece of affirmation, don't look for two.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just all you need is one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when I found this guy who I am going to say he was my mentor, right? Because he affirmed, and then I actually went down, I did a little YouTube university on him.
Right.
And I got a little bit more information and I added that to my joint and it went crazy.
It was just what you needed.
You know why? Because I was like, wait a minute. I don't have to host these shows. I can have another podcast.
Right.
Then you're able to start delegating and duplicating. So right now we're doing about 6 shows a day. So that means 30 shows a week. So that means I get 30 warm ass, hot ass leads.
You produce and put out 30 episodes a week? What?
And I don't have to do none of
What kind of team do you have?
I mean, I got 3 VAs, I got 3 hosts, and I got 2 closers.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So my goal with that is to ironclad tighten that whole thing up.
And then scale it.
Yeah, because we have automation and all of that stuff, and it's working. It's a little kinks or whatever, but it's working.
Yeah.
And then for podcasters, right, and I have to give credit to some of my peer mentors because they bestowed this on me. The Podcast Academy, which is essentially teaching podcasters how to monetize.
Okay.
And my mission with that is to help, 3,800 podcasters monetize through a couple of different strategies. And if they don't want to have a product, they can, through the 100K podcast program, they can become a certified affiliate and then just offer my guesting
service
as their product in their podcast. I'm going to give them all of the marketing assets.
Yeah.
All they got to do is use them. And then they'll send you on my show. If you close the deal, I'm going to send y'all 5%.
Right.
You don't got to do nothing.
Got you.
Right? So you're
going to send me your commercial.
Yeah.
I'll insert it in an episode like this, maybe next.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then if somebody books and say they came from me, then you'll pay me for that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't have to do no work.
You don't even have to have a product. I got the product. I give you the assets.
Got you.
And I'm going to give you the marketing video. I'm going to give you the marketing audio for your podcasts out there that don't have video. I'm going to give you the script for the podcasts that want to do a live read.
Right.
Right? I'm going to give you the script. I'm going to give you your keyword. So then I know exactly it's trackable where it came from.
Right.
And if your guest came from you on my show, that closes, that gets guesting services, you get checks.
Got you.
And 3 of those is $1,320.
$1,300?
Yeah.
I like it.
Right? So all I need to do is get in front of more podcasters.
Right.
Help them with 3 sales. That's it.
$1,000 a month.
Listen.
Or a day.
Or however
often you produce content.
Exactly. That's all you want to do. And it's, it's kind of like...
And it's just backing money. Like, you don't have to do it. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do the work again. You just insert the clip in the episode.
Facts.
And people watch it.
Yeah, because another thing that I think a lot of podcasters or even guests miss out on is the repackage and repurpose. So if you go on a show, and this is I feel like guests need to step it up, especially if you
I was going to ask you about guests,
yeah.
right? Because I do think that a lot of times people like want to start going on podcasts. Number one, we don't have any really interview etiquette, so we don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, like, first of all, I do think that guests need to understand that going on a podcast is marketing. Like you're on a promo run, PR run.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I'm a guest, how do I maximize my opportunity while I'm in front of somebody else's audience on a podcast?
Great question. So there's a lot of things I feel like a guest can do, but I think the number one thing, one of the easiest things they need to do is promote your episode. You know, guests will get the link for their show
And watch it.
and don't even send it to nobody. They don't email it out. They don't text it out. You know what I'm saying? They don't even ask for clips. If they get the clips, they barely post the clips.
Yeah.
It's like I do a show and then I just magically think that people are gonna know about it.
Right.
What you need to do is get your show, help your host promote that show, right? Send it to your email list. Send it to your text message list.
Yeah.
Right? Send it to your community. Chop it up. You know, get it all chopped up and then redistribute it on your channels.
Right.
Right? So YouTube, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram. If you're on Facebook, you know, Twitter.
Wherever you at.
Wherever you at, redistribute that.
Yeah.
And then also,
Even LinkedIn.
can I give them another play?
Please do.
Listen, if you're on a podcast and you went crazy,
Yeah.
you're like, yo, this little 2-minute block, I went nuts. This little 40, I went crazy. Take that clip, right? Move that clip into one of the AI softwares, right? Transcribe that. Give it to someone. Give it on to a formatter in the editor on Fiverr. Create a digital product out of that. Sell that digital product. Then take that clip insert. Make that a video book. Have that as an upsell. We turn you up. It's the same information, right?
Right.
Because you also have to think about this. The viewer and the listener, all of us, our attention span ain't crazy.
Right.
Right? So if you take segments of that and resell them that,
Right.
they'll take advantage of that.
Right.
Because a lot of them haven't seen the whole episode anyway.
Right.
So if you take the gems or take a segment, you know, you can repackage and repurpose. You can turn it into a video book. You can turn it into a digital product. You can teach on that.
Right.
Right? You can then create another YouTube video, put it on YouTube with a call to action, send it back to that digital product that you made from the same content. Right? And then upsell that.
Got you.
It go kind of crazy.
Deep. Right, I see.
It can go crazy. It can go crazy. But yeah, the number one thing for guests, y'all need to push your shows.
Yeah, got you. So pushing the show, getting you some visibility out there.
Facts.
What about when you're actually on the show?
Yeah, so when you're on the show, all right, guests, this is what you need to do. If you need to make it easier for your host to host, which means you need to tell stories with your answers. A lot of y'all are like, yeah, that was fun.
I know. I had some guests like that. I'd be like, okay, well, what we do here is we have a conversation. I ask you a question and we have a conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot of guests want to get on the shows, and again, they think it's magic. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna just show up and things are just gonna happen. Give your answers in story form.
Yeah.
Give your answers in anecdotes. Give your answers with comparisons. Give your answers with a little bit more color, a little bit more context, right? Because it's gonna make the host's job a lot easier. And it's not really the host's job to drill you. It's their job to guide you through the conversation. You just want to talk the most about what you have going on. To the point where the host is like, wait, all right, we need to switch topic. You know what I'm saying? That's how much value you want to give. You want to put the host in this situation where it's like, all right, cool, let's switch gears here.
Right.
Right? If the host need to pull teeth, they will, because the professional host will still stare and navigate and pull things out of you. But you'll really be serving the host on the highest level if you give more in your answers, right? More color, context, stories, anecdote.
This week's episode is sponsored by ABCs for Rich Kids by 7-year-old author and entrepreneur Bryce Nicholas. Please tell us where we can find your book.
ABCsforRichKids.com.
Awesome. This book is so amazing, guys. It literally goes from A to Z with different financial terms for your little loved ones. Awesome. So we've got F is for future value. E is for evaluation. H is for air. Guys, if you do not have this book, the Amazon #1 bestseller, please go and grab it now at abcsforrichkids.com. Awesome. And I try to, some podcasts are not really about like having offers and all that stuff, right? Like it's more so just about a conversation. Hopefully somebody out there can get inspired by what you're doing, what I'm doing, and, find their own way to build wealth, right? So that's really the whole goal of this podcast. But if I am like investing my time, money, energy, and going on podcasts, I want to maximize.
Facts.
So how do I maximize the opportunity, before I leave
As a guest?
as a guest?
Okay, so a couple different ways. On the actual show, you need to have an offer.
Okay,
And if you do not have an offer, at least have an offer that they can get something for free.
got you.
Have a call to action that they can join your free group,
Right.
your free
Get your
webinar,
free ebook, free something.
get a free download so at least they can get into your email list or
Right.
your tech. Get them in your ecosystem.
Right.
You might not even have nothing to sell them right now, but you might have something to sell them in the next month. You cannot backtrack.
Yeah.
And every podcast that you do ends up being a moat, and these moats can capture leads for you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing about podcasts, like, so there's a guy that I follow right now, 8-figure earner, Sam Ovens.
Oh yeah.
I'm listening to his content from 4 years ago.
Listen, he been a beast.
That's what
He
I'm saying.
was like one of my first mentors in my head.
Yeah.
Probably like 10 years ago.
And guess what? We watching 4 or 5 years content.
Right.
So think about this. So I was watching a video, and he had a call to action for a spreadsheet that basically what it did was it gave you a dollar amount based off of some habits that you did or actions that you did, from negative 100 to $10 to zero, $1,000, $10,000,
Yeah.
$100,000,
Right.
right? And I went to click it because it was in the description. I clicked it,
Yeah.
and it was a dead link, but I was still clicking it 4 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So people could get leads 4 years from now if that link's still working.
Right.
Right? So what I did, you know what I'm saying? Because we all packaging and repurposing, right? So what I did was I found so much value in that. I recreated the form
Okay.
via Fiverr, right? I made a YouTube video with the same title. I put his face on it, my face on it.
You can do that?
Yeah, it's a thumbnail.
You can just still put people pictures on your...
Yeah, I'm putting you. So if we do this interview, you're gonna put my picture on the thumbnail.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So basically, I'm taking the title of his original video,
Yeah.
retitling my video,
Okay.
the same title, put his face on it, my face on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my overview of that same product with the download. So then everyone that wants our product that can no longer get it, they can watch my video, which I'm gonna give him the love and I'm gonna give him the credit.
Yeah.
That's where I got it from.
Right.
Right? Now they can get that same lead magnet they can no longer get.
And now
They'll
you get
it from
his
me.
audience.
Now I get his audience
Yeah.
and I get to grow the list.
Got you.
And he's
Wow.
gonna come on the podcast.
That's fire.
So that's how you do
That
it.
is fire. Oh my gosh. So now you are tapping into other people's audience. That's kind of like SEO. That's so like this go deep.
Yeah.
Much deeper than just like doing an interview.
Yeah. So on YouTube, you have to be semi-creative when it comes to content creation, because I think selfishly, YouTube creators create from themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Like vlogs. This is what happened today. I want to talk about this, and I've definitely done that.
Right.
But you start growing on YouTube and you start serving more, and you have to look at the long term. Like, it's not really about this video is gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
It's about how can I solve a problem? How can I give more context? How can I even give a reaction on a video that I found valuable that you should probably pay attention to certain areas of the video.
Gotcha.
So the more you serve, the more value you provide, eventually your YouTube channel will grow. And then obviously you have to have certain segments of what people are searching on YouTube. Like tech is popular, relationships is crazy, finance is huge. So, I mean, you should be on there like Maven's Millennial Minutes,
right,
and just give a 8-minute breakdown of the things that you do.
That's the plan. So that's why we got the green screen over here. I'm gonna do it on the green screen.
That will go crazy.
I want it to look like a news station.
Yeah, because you need a plaque. You need a YouTube plaque. I want one, right? Black tech, black wealth. From your perspective, people want that.
Yeah,
and they tap into that. And
right,
again, it's more value you can provide the community.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. So I feel like podcasts are kind of new.
Yeah.
Right, like 5 years, 10 years-ish. What were you doing before this time of this podcast wave?
How far back do you want to go?
Well, I mean, you just tell us who you are.
Right.
You know, let's get to know you a little bit.
Cool.
How have you grown as an entrepreneur?
All right, so my mom passed when I was 15. My dad died when I was 12.
Wow.
My grandmother raised me. She died when I was 16. And then I had other family members pass away, and I had a best friend pass and a brother pass.
Wow.
So I've been through a lot of one would say loss. You know, that was my foundation. That's my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? That's like who I am. That's what contributed to the person that is on your show right now.
Yeah.
I started my first business as an entrepreneur when I was 20. Basketball leagues in the city of Boston. We didn't have anything like Rucker Park. I love basketball. I wanted to create something. It was really like my first business. I figured it out. Did it for 6 years. It was successful.
So you created a whole league?
Whole league.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
At 20?
At 20. Rocking
Wow.
for 6 years. We talking about sponsorships. We talking about DJ. I was using Twitter for the updates.
Right.
I had a website. They can go on there, check out the standings, and
I
see who
love
the
it.
top scorers was and all of that.
Right.
We had the names on the jerseys. I had the banners on the fence. It was a
you was
vibe.
official.
Music, it was a vibe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I should have kept it going. And what's great about it is that it inspired other leagues in Boston to come after mine, and that is still rolling.
Right.
So, I kind of take a little bit of, joy in that.
Yeah.
Because, we need that.
Yeah.
So then I transitioned into clothing. I was in clothing. I had a clothing line with a friend of mine for almost 10 years.
Okay.
And we actually were very culturally impactful. We made seven figures 1 year, and then it all kind of fell apart. We didn't have any foundation, no mentorship, no coaching. We did not know what the hell we were doing.
So y'all just hit 7 figures with no mentor, no knowledge of business, really?
So Justin P. Shout out to Justin P. So he has a Black Colleges, right?
Yep.
Brand. Him and his
Justin,
partner.
you need to get on here. Where you at? Where you at, Justin?
Right.
When you coming on the show?
So Justin reminds me of me and my business partner earlier on.
Okay.
Because a lot of the things that he was doing with, he has this strategy where, let's say he wanted to get at Rihanna to get him a product.
Yeah.
He wouldn't get it to Rihanna. He would give it to her
Circle.
her circle.
Yeah.
And then it would get to her. So we used to do a lot of that.
Right.
So we had tons of artists and athletes wearing the brand. Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Big Sean did our first ever campaign in New York. We had a lot of different athletes. J. Cole, pre-Dread, J. Cole. Pre-Dread Kendrick.
Right.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
this is
Pre-aesthetically
time ago.
forward Weekend. You know what I'm saying? When he used to wear colors. You know what I mean? Like this is who we were touching.
Gotcha.
And Kid Cudi.
Right.
Pharrell.
Yeah.
These are all people that wore the brand.
How'd you get all these people to wear your brand?
Listen, man. Listen. The same way I got people on a podcast right now.
Right.
You marketing strategies. And back then, Twitter was heavy.
Yeah.
So, you could get to anyone through Twitter.
Right.
You can still do it now, but, Twitter was kind of like where Instagram is now. So, I would use that platform. I would reach out to the managers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The best friends, the stylists.
Yeah.
Which was good back then, PR people.
Right.
Build those relationships.
Yeah.
Plant those seeds. And then send product. And then, the match would happen from there.
Nice.
And then the brand was called Society Original Products.
Okay.
And the logo was Backward Society. And that really resonated with people. So it really kind of took off.
Wow.
And, we was in Urban Outfitters, Zoomies, Tilly's.
How y'all do that?
Me, bro.
Wow.
I was going crazy.
So you were approaching these companies to get in there, or
I'm
did
going to
they
tell y'all
approach
something.
you?
Whatever you need to do, you could do it. You just got to figure it out.
Listen,
You know
you
what I'm
done did
saying?
a little bit of everything,
Listen,
and it's like
you
all
gotta-
these different markets.
Listen, you got to figure it out. So listen, how can you get into a big retailer with a clothing company? You need to you got to reverse hack that.
Okay.
So you could reach out to a buyer. Hey, if I want to get my brand to you,
Yeah.
how do I do it?
Just
They'll tell
ask.
you. They'll tell you that you need a line sheet. You need your prices. You need to make sure you have your product numbers, right? Like your style number, your
SKUs.
REN number, all your SKUs. And then they'll give you how the presentation needs to be sent to them.
Right.
And then you just do that and then send it to them. And in some cases, if you really want to ensure that you can get in these stores, ask them what they're missing for brands. Like, what do they want for next season? Oh, we
Gotcha.
need, a gray T-shirt with a V-neck.
Yeah.
Make your brand with a gray T-shirt and a V-neck. It's gonna guarantee that they're gonna pick you up.
Right.
They're telling you what they're missing. So that also comes with a very sad story.
Okay.
I could be a billionaire right now. I'm probably still on the way, but
You on the way.
I
We
would
know
be.
you on the way.
Listen. So with the clothing company, right? This is probably I don't know what year it was. So we ended 2014. I'm gonna say maybe 2012, 2011. Right? We're sitting with one of our buyers. Shout out to Karma Loop, right? We're sitting with the head buyer, Karma Loop, me, him, and my business partner at the time, right? He's like, yo, trending in the marketplace, sweatpants, that expose the sneaker.
Okay.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
How do we do this?
Yeah.
So we're like, well, what if we take, like, you have your sweatshirt. What if we take the cuff and put that at the bottom?
Right.
And then it will make the shoe pop.
Oh, these pants are fire too.
Thanks.
Look at them.
Yeah, shout out to my guy.
You got to be you got to be in the fashion.
I used to.
You still are, clearly.
Not really. I use my brain a lot more.
Right.
I can't put clothes together no more. It takes so much time.
Okay.
But occasionally I'll swag it out.
Yeah.
But it's super rare.
Right.
Before it was basketball, women, and clothes. But now I don't even do none of those things. Women, I'm into y'all, but I just haven't had the time.
We're going to get there. We're going to get
Listen,
there.
where my wife at?
Where she at?
Listen, hit me up. With the brand, right? So basically what we did was we took the cuff
and put it on the bottom.
Put it on the bottom.
Okay.
It made the shoe pop. So we designed what is now known as the jogger sweat. In Boston. We did not know anything about technical patent.
Right.
We just designed it, put it out. He bought hundreds of them, and they was available on one of the largest streetwear sites at the time.
Wow.
And then what happened was brands started copying.
Right.
Which was fine.
Which is fine because it's
yeah.
But you didn't have a patent.
You didn't have a fucking patent.
So if y'all had a patent,
can I swear?
I
mean, we didn't have a patent. So the biggest doors from Fashion Nova to Victoria's Secrets to streetwear brands to Walmart.
So it was just like a little cut that y'all did.
Bro.
Everybody started using it.
Everyone started using it.
Had you had the patent, they would have had to pay you.
Pay us royalties forever.
To design.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell y'all.
This is the thing. This is why we are genius.
This is why we on Black Wealth Weekly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this is what we have done in this world since our existence.
Yeah.
Is bring our ideas, change cultures.
Ideation.
Yes, that's what we do as a people.
And I think that's why they hate us, but that's the other podcast.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Of course, but dang. I wanted to curse, but I ain't gonna curse.
I mean, I already did. Did I break the seal? Did I make it okay?
It's okay. I just don't want YouTube to give us,
So, I mean, you could post edit like a little pop-up.
Oh, okay.
Over my, you know what I'm saying?
All right,
it makes it interesting. But that was a
$1 billion loss.
Extremely valuable and expensive lesson. You know what I'm saying? But we had highlights, like we did a collaboration with this brand, renowned in Paris, Colette. You know what I'm saying? And we did a apparel partnership with them. And I was able to fly out there and see the brand on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which was super dope.
Yeah.
We were in video games. I mean, we did a little something.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's what's up. So you left that.
Yeah.
And then
got into real estate.
Okay.
Started to help buyers buy and sellers sell.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to LA, got my license there as well. I figured I would, be doing $1 million listings. And the money wasn't coming fast enough.
Yeah.
And it's not against real estate, but it takes a lot of physical labor when you're just a realtor.
Absolutely.
So I was like, I need to level up.
It's a job.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to level up. So got into focusing more on digital marketing, paid for personal development, mentorship, coaching. And then 60K months is way easier.
How has mentor coaching and personal development helped you, through this process, I guess, go from, hustling, working for your money to having 60K 30 days?
I think that you are paying for borrowing someone's belief that you can implant into your mind. So people don't overthink about my iPhone's not working. There's an update. Let me update it. They don't think about, damn, I can't get into my Instagram account. Let me update the app. That's quick. But you need to update the way that you're thinking because you're thinking still from 1999. You're thinking still from 2005. You got the 2018 thinking right now. And you're being very adverse to upgrading your thoughts and upgrading the way that you operate, your patterns, your programs, right?
Yeah.
Your personal systems.
Right.
And I think that holds you back. Now, if I could pay you $50K to learn how to wholesale real estate and how to be an investor, right? And raise money for deals that I don't have to raise money for, and you can teach me that in 30, 40, 60 days, and then do a deal with you in 90 days, that's worth me paying 50 because I have that information forever. Not only did I just do that deal with you, but I can do my own deals now.
Right.
Why would I not want to pay for that?
And you're getting the shortcut. Because, you know, for the
100%.
most part, like we done talked about, you've done clothing for 10 years, this
Yeah.
for 10. The things, you know, we've done what we do for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right? Decades. And
Yeah.
this is what I tell my clients all the time is, you know, what I'm doing for you, it might take me an hour to do it. It might take me 30 minutes to do it. But it took me 10 years to get the knowledge and to get the experience to do that thing in 1 hour or 15 minutes, you know? So that's what you're paying for. You pay for the shortcut.
I mean, you're doing it anyway because you're doing it at college.
Yeah.
It's just presented to you in a manner in which that, you feel like this is more valuable than paying a person.
Yep.
Right? And you feel like, I'm not going.
That's part of that programming.
100%.
It's part of that programming.
Listen, why would you want to pay for, and this is no knock on college because there are some good things about college, but why would you want to pay for data information that you're not going to apply right away and then get a piece of paper that is going to not validate you but makes you feel like it is validating to do something that you have to start at the bottom to do and not get paid your worth after
Did you go to college? Let me ask.
I did go.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
I went.
All this bad talk, I would have thought no.
Listen, when you got a lens with the blinders on, you gotta have a response as someone that has a lens with the blinders on.
Yeah.
Once the blinders is off and you're open to receiving new information and you dig a little deeper than what is just presented to you, you call it with actual real outcomes. Like if you dig, I don't want to take this back to black, but you do some history, you know what I'm saying, you can see that we done made a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we done did a lot of things. Patents was originated and stolen. You know, again, another podcast, but what I'm saying is like, if you do a little research behind what's just presented to you, even like with, the thing that happened in 2020 with, I don't want to say the word because they might do something, but you know what I'm talking about? Everybody being sick.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha.
It's coming out now.
He don't want to mess up the algorithm.
I don't want to mess up the algorithm.
Yeah, he don't want to get us banned on YouTube.
But it's coming out now.
How it was all orchestrated.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
And how, certain presentations and, information that was shared and the manner in which it was shared.
Yeah. And like you can kind of just see how A made B and C and now we're here.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know what? Again, another podcast, but if you talk about that, if you talk about racism, if you talk about just like, systemic economic, like separation, stuff like that, those are all distractions. Because if I can make $61,000 in 37 days, that doesn't mean I'm really held back.
Right.
Now, it doesn't take away from the history,
right?
But it means all of us can do that.
Absolutely.
Because we got friends that just made $450,000 in a day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, and they got our hues.
And it's so crazy because it's like, once you see something like that, and it like these numbers might sound crazy to people that's watching this. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, even me, because what exposed me to big numbers was when I started working on Wall Street.
Yeah.
And I was managing corporate retirement accounts. I had to balance the entire retirement plan, let's say for like a Home Depot or a YouTube, right? Whatever company had their accounts with Merrill Lynch, I was balancing these billion-dollar plans. So like, I feel like for me, that helped me just start to see numbers as numbers and like not money. The problem is people attach emotions and feelings and all of these things to money that they lose the fact that it's just numbers. And like once you have the strategy, once you have the belief, shit is it's out the window.
You know what money really is?
It's a system for exchange.
It is.
Yeah.
I'll call them hope notes.
Hope notes.
Yeah.
All money.
Yeah.
Like even our dollar.
Hope notes.
Yeah.
We're hoping that the value is what it is, but
Today.
It's really not because it's not attached to anything.
Right.
So it's a hope note. You can hold on and hope it's worth this.
Right.
But in the next week or next month or next year, it's going to be worth less than that.
And that's what we're seeing now when it comes to looking at crypto, so we got the introduction of crypto. So I think that has even awakened people to what money really is, and like how these systems, the banks just failed. That big bank just failed. They had trillions and billions of dollars for these companies. But these companies ain't really make that money. They raised it from those same banks that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this money is not even real.
Hope notes.
It's not even real.
Yeah. I'm telling y'all, y'all need to pay attention to what really moves the needle. And I think that as people of color, I think we've been programmed a lot through history by oppressors or whatever, and it's been passed down through generations.
Yeah.
So regular conversations about other ethnicities we don't have until later on in life.
Yeah.
When you're in certain groups, and these are regular table conversations, cafe, coffee conversations, drive to the gym conversations that are casually Wednesday morning conversations.
Right.
And because other ethnicities are having them and they're working together, they're able to do things that we think are so crazy, but it's regular common stuff.
Yeah.
Like how insurance is used, right? People are so afraid to do taxes, but it's really the tax code and understanding that.
Right.
I've been there afraid to do taxes, like filing taxes hella late. Like, I don't even try to do these taxes, right? But it's because we're afraid because we've been taught that we should avoid and be afraid.
Yeah.
But if you understand the tax code and how it's used and how you're literally a business, whether you want to believe that or not, your social security number makes you a business, you're property of the government.
Right.
So you're a business.
You just never learn how to operate one.
You never learn how to operate. You never learn the basics. And we don't know, trust. We don't know really optimizing the LLC. We're not knowing personal credit optimization, business credit optimization, leverage, compound interest, stocks. Like, why would you not want to continue, like you're buying luxury, but once you purchase the luxury stock, and hopefully that may be one of the stocks that gives you, a return.
Yeah.
And then instead of you paying that brand every month, you can buy that brand from your payouts every quarter.
Yeah, I make my son do that. So like one of these conversations, I have an 8-year-old. Y'all know I have 8-year-old Bryce. I'm Bryce Nicholas. And whenever he asks me for stuff, I'm like, okay, well, who makes that? And, we've been doing this for maybe like 3 years because he's had a cell phone for a little bit of a long time. But I would make him get on the phone and ask Siri, who owns, let's say Pokemon? Or who makes, Spider-Man? And okay, cool. Well, now you know what company makes that. Now let's go and look at their stock.
Facts.
And if you think that you're going to go and spend $800 on this PS5, then you need to have $800 more to go and buy stock in Sony so that you can have both. So I've been teaching him that since he can remember.
That's why you're Millennium Money Maven.
That's why I'm the Millennium Money Maven, baby.
Yeah. 100%.
Because you have to know how to. You just got to know how to play the game.
Listen, we need to learn money. We need to learn economics. You need to learn how to develop wealth, and you need to be able to be in a group where you don't feel embarrassed to talk about how much money you make, the plays you're about to make.
Yeah.
I made 6 figures a month. I want to make 7 figures a month. I want to be an 8-figure entrepreneur. I want to learn how to really do this. And if you're not coming with me, it's cool, but I'm going to just spend more time over here.
Yeah.
That should be normal. You not should be abnormal to have those conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that that conditioning just comes from the workforce.
Yeah.
Because they always make you feel like you shouldn't be talking about your salary.
No, facts.
Why not?
Facts.
When I first started,
because they don't want to uproar.
Yeah, they don't want you to know that the little girl next to you that was her dad is the manager. They don't want you to know she makes $20,000 more than you.
Yeah, facts.
Y'all doing the same job, went to the same school. You know what I'm saying?
She didn't go to school.
Maybe she didn't even go to school, and she's still making more than you.
Facts.
And you just came out with your master's degree. This is what Black women do and face all the time, and Black men as well, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But in the corporate environment, where this is what we call paying the Black tax, right? Like we are just oppressed for no reason, because why can't I make the same money as this girl?
I mean, we're oppressed for a reason. It was all by design.
Well, right.
All by design. And it's perpetual. And I think that if we really get into understanding the mindset of social conditioning, you'll understand that after a while, it's like, I don't know if you've ever seen this online, social media, but they do this test and they put these gnats into a glass. They have gnats in the glass for a certain amount of time.
Oh yeah.
And they remove the glass and the gnats
they
don't
just
fly
stay right
out.
there.
And that's what happens. So after a certain amount of time, it's been designed. There's studies, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then what happens is the people that have that mindset end up perpetuating the same condition that was forced upon them.
Right.
And they just pass that on.
Right.
And that's why I think gangs.
And they say even the offspring of those flies
That's what I'm saying.
still only go that high.
And that's why I think gangs and unfortunately that's why we have a lot of self-induced trauma because is passed down.
Yeah.
There should be no gangs. Because what are the gangs doing? They're killing each other over money and then colors and territory.
Yeah.
We don't own none of the territory, and the money's hope notes.
Right.
So if they took that energy and they actually harvested and started businesses,
Yeah.
invested back into the community, they would all have money.
Right.
What do you need to fight for?
And that's what you're doing all the crimes.
Every single one of them would be
for.
business owners.
Yeah.
They would all have money. And they learn collaboration. The cities would be revitalized. There would be no gangs. It would be just like Wall Street Trapper is trying to do.
Right.
Or that he's doing.
Right.
Not trying
What
to
he's
do.
doing, exactly.
Right? He's changing the mindset
Yeah.
of, the D-boys and the hustlers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The people on the street.
Ex-felons.
Right? And the felons. Let's get into Wall Street. Learn that game.
Right.
So if the gangs learn the game, why do we need
There would
gangs?
be no need for gangs.
But it's perpetuated through the system
Mm-hmm.
to keep us from taking our seat
At the table.
at the table.
Where we can actually eat.
But however, they're extracting all of the gold and the mindset and the ideas.
Yep.
And then they're cashing in on the joint.
Yep. And they cashing in using fake money that they done created at some bank and just recycle until a bank like this Sun Valley, California
Yeah.
bank that just went away.
Yeah.
So it's all, they take all of our stuff, they build this wealth that's
Yeah.
really fake.
Yeah, we need to stop being distracted.
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
That was the full circle moment. Was we started off saying that we're distracted.
That's what it is. It's a distraction.
Yeah,
And
and I
it's a
think
distraction.
even these days, I like at being aware, of myself, of the economy, of the world. I see how every 10 years or so the distractions are new. So
Yeah.
now the distraction for like the young kids that aren't aware and haven't had a chance to really grow is, well, I'm bi, poly, A,
that's
B, C,
super
D, E, F,
distraction,
G.
yeah.
I feel like it's such a big distraction from anything because who cares who you are? Just be you.
Listen, you could be straight or not.
You're not like
You could be they or you or him. It don't matter.
it doesn't matter.
But if you ain't getting money and you're not understanding economics, if you're not building a business, if you're not reading, if you're not helping out your community, helping out your family, collaborating, building,
right,
it don't matter who you are,
right,
right?
Yeah.
It don't make no difference.
yeah,
That's what's important because you being an identity or not being an identity, you're still in the same position.
Right.
And you're just distracting someone else from getting to where they want to go
Bruh,
because you want
that's like the biggest
you want to
distraction
you want to
for this
put your
generation.
beliefs onto someone else.
right.
It's a distraction.
And it's like I don't even care.
Yeah, no one cares. Bro.
Nobody cares.
It actually confuses people.
Yeah.
And confusion is distraction. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
And if you're distracted from getting to the money or changing your situation,
Right,
that's what
get
they
better.
want you to do.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, that's another podcast.
Right. I was about to say we done went down a whole rabbit hole with that, but that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Real conversations with real people
Real
and
people.
successful entrepreneurs like you. So,
Listen.
your worldly input needs to be heard.
I appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for sharing that with us.
I got a little fiery.
Huh?
Got a little fiery real quick,
Let me listen. That's why I said, okay, let's bring it back because
cool.
we'll be going down that rabbit hole forever.
Facts.
Yes, but this was a super fire episode. As a new podcaster myself, I definitely gained some value. Yeah. And we're going to be talking because I need that affiliate.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to see more people come into this space.
Yeah.
Because number one, we need a voice. I was we were talking yesterday. One of our friends were listening to a guy who he thought was alive, right? And he was just like telling us how it was so impactful for him to hear what he was saying. And this guy had been dead for 5 years. So like the power of being able to tell your story or share your wisdom, whatever, share your guidance, it's so needed. So
isn't that crazy?
I love what you're doing, helping people do
But
that.
isn't that crazy? This guy passed away 4 or 5 years ago. He's immortalized in digital.
Right.
And then we and the future generations can sap into that
And you can
knowledge
still get
forever.
that energy.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you can pass that's passing your energy on. It's like almost, I don't want to say almost bigger than the spirit, but it's pretty deep because it's like a spirit in real form that, you know, that energy can be perpetuated to the next generation.
And that's why
which you're
people
not even
should
being here
content
anymore.
create.
Absolutely.
Because I
Absolutely.
mean, you listen, leave something for your people.
Right. So drop us with your last bar and then tell us how we can get in touch, how we can work with you,
Last bar, listen, take imperfect action. I think that you should design your life. I think you should have some time for yourself. I think you should do things for you first, because you can't draw from an empty cup, obviously. And if you're a podcaster right now and you want to take advantage and learn how to monetize your podcast, I have a program for you completely for free, the 100K podcast program. What you want to do is just text me 100K, 213-410-4920. I'll also give Maven a link below, so you can text it or hit the link. It's a free program. I'm going to give you 30 days of coaching for free, and I'm also going to give you the whole game on how to monetize your podcast.
I love it.
For free.
So you ain't even give us that strategy.
What?
So he implementing right in our face, guys.
Yeah. I'm doing a little bit.
He said y'all can come and join his coaching program for free for 30 days.
Yeah.
That's fire. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a fire offer.
Yeah.
Come and learn from me. Don't pay me anything. He didn't give us that one, but when you pay attention, you can catch the bar. So
listen.
Hopefully y'all learned something today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, King.
Always.
I appreciate you for coming on.
Listen.
Always.
This is my favorite.
Yes. So,
if you guys are in the A, you know what you need to do is you need to pull up. You need to book a slot. Click that link below. Apply to be a guest on this amazing podcast with this amazing queen right here, who's going to teach you about wealth, responsibilities, economics, and especially if you're a mom, right? You want to get that play. I think that's an amazing play where, you're teaching your young ones the value of assets and the value of purchasing and ownership, right? And I think that's essential. I wish I would have had that.
Yeah.
And I think, again, my mom was distracted. My dad was hella distracted, right? Society, and as an event, I'm left to figure things out.
Yeah.
But if, my mom wasn't distracted, my dad wasn't distracted, I may have learned some of this stuff that I could have used as a teenager.
All of us, most of us.
Which is why if you're, a parent, single, relationship, together, married, whatever, especially, of color, gotta tap in. Get these bars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this has been another great episode. I appreciate you guys for joining. Make sure that you hit the bell, subscribe, like, and share this video with somebody that wants to be a podcaster, wants to learn how to monetize their brand, and make sure you tap in with this king. But that's the end of this week's episode. I'm your host, Shaniqua Nicole, the Millennial Money Maven. I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Black Wealth Weekly. I'm your host, Shaniqua Nicole, and I hope to see you next week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on them notifications, and head to blackwealthweekly.com where you can read all the new episodes of these entrepreneurs and so many others.